All right, enough Madrid of both kinds. How about some quick hits?
Let's go, Gab.
Manchester City beat Borussia Monchengladbach 2-0. But Jules, we kind of saw a different type of City, no?
Yeah, very impressive. That's the norm, that 19 wins in a row in a competition. But
that's not the different bit.
No, different in the sense, you're right, that they've been maybe a bit more pragmatic, more patient. They kept the ball, they controlled the game, not as vertical maybe as we've seen them in.
It looked like early weeks. Pep Barca, 2010.
Maybe. And they were really good at it again. And Joao Cancelo had another fantastic game. So well done to them. They keep going. I don't know who will stop them, but they would have to be really
Joao
good. Joao
Cancelo, a monster, and Pep saying we need to be more clinical, take more shots on goal.
Come on.
Yeah.
As for Gladbach, Gab, it was a disappointing defeat, but you're still a big Marco Rose fan, right?
I am. I just didn't understand the way they played in this game. They kept trying to play out from the back, and they kept losing the ball. How about you mix it up a bit and occasionally go long? Because we've seen them occasionally go long in other games. I don't know what the strategy was here, but you had play out there. That guy can run a little bit, right? Why not go down that route? I was a bit disappointing also because, this was your home tie theoretically. Put something in. Can you think you can go to the Etihad and score 2 and win?
I don't think so.
It's been a long time since anybody's done that.
Yeah.
Now, some foolish people, like myself,
and me,
thought Lazio might make life difficult for Bayern and maybe spring a surprise. Instead, Jules, they made life difficult, I think, first and foremost for themselves, and were destroyed at home 4-1.
Yeah, I mean, you see then the experience in those kind of games, and Lazio haven't been in, they hadn't been in the Champions League for 20 years, and even less in the last 16, and even less against a team like Bayern Munich. You can't make those mistakes. I mean, Musacchio arrived in January from Milan.
Musacchio shouldn't have been playing.
He should have been playing, but he played. I mean, what's that pass? It's back with his heel. I mean, it was crazy. And then within 10 minutes, if you give Bayern Munich a goal like this, then it's over. And then it continued and continued and continued. It's a shame because I thought there was. Certainly when they went forward at times, they looked really good, but the tie is over now. And they will have a lot of regrets because they gifted them the win.
Yeah, this takes so much pressure off of Bayern. Also, they can focus more on the Bundesliga now.
Yeah, completely. Jamal Musiala, the wonder kid at Bayern Munich, has made his decision and he's decided to play for Germany at senior level over England and Nigeria. He could have chosen any of the 3 countries. Is it a good choice, Gab?
So this is an interesting one because his trajectory is kind of interesting. I mean, first and foremost, you should play for whatever country you feel you identify with, right? So this guy was born in Germany. He's got one parent who's Nigerian. He's got one parent who's German. And then when he was 8 years old, I guess he must live with his mother. He moved to London, joined Chelsea, played for Chelsea for 8 years until he was 16 years old, represented England at youth level. Yeah. And then he moved back to Germany. So, to me, it kind of makes sense that he should feel German. He does not have, an English parent. So, I also wonder if what played into this a little bit is maybe he sees a different standard of competition among young players in England relative to Germany, and maybe in Germany you can make a few more strides more quickly. But by all means,
incredible
well done
talent. So well done to Germany.
Special talent as well.
Very special talent.
Barcelona don't really impress, especially in the first half, but nevertheless they beat Elche 3-0. Jules, good thing that Messi guy is pretty good, huh?
Oh, so good. I mean, that first half was so bad. It was embarrassing. And we're like, come on. It was just nothing happening. And then it much better in the second half because Messi took charge, because Frankie de Jong had a great run for the second goal as well that he gave to Messi. And he's good, but I still think he's throwing what we see most of the time with Barcelona.
I felt bad for Griezmann double miss.
I know, but it's not a good time for him. Tottenham Hotspur beat Wolfsberger 4-0 in the second leg, last 32 of the Europa League to advance to the next round. And Dele Alli steals the show. Gab, Mourinho says he's back to his best. Do you believe it?
The odd thing is this guy hasn't started a game since the very first week of the season. I actually looked. Tanganga, Vinicius, Gareth Bale have all played more league minutes than Dele Alli. Look, it's great. Mourinho say this. Now doesn't mean you're going to play him. That's all they really care about. Or is he just great, his best? Oh yeah, we'll keep seeing him in the Europa League. Mino Raiola speaks out in a wide-ranging interview with the BBC and says only 10 clubs can afford Erling Haaland post-Dortmund. Now, 4 of them are in England. Jules, do we want to play the guessing game who those 10 clubs are?
Yeah, but I think it seems like we're missing one. So the 4 in England, obviously City, United, Liverpool and Chelsea.
Yep.
Bayern Munich would be there. That's 5. Barca and Real Madrid. That's 6 and 7. You'll have Juventus at 8. And then
Paris Saint-Germain
at 9. And then the 10th one is the one that maybe, did they mean AC Milan? I don't know. Did they mean Inter Milan? Did they mean Atletico Madrid?
Inter Miami?
It's a weird
one. Now, he wasn't, like, before we go get sticklers, he's not talking can afford him in terms of wages, because if you're talking about afford him in terms of fees, there's even fewer.
Yeah,
because I don't think Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain, I don't think this is happening,
Juventus,
right? Unless they sell players. But he's talking in terms of prestige. It's an interesting one. A bit of maybe a sideways diss to Spurs and Arsenal as well.
Maybe. So Manchester United are one of those clubs that we just mentioned who can afford Erling Haaland. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer says that he knows him. Of course, they were together at Molde when he was really young, and speaks to him and was interested in him a year ago. So not really surprised, right, Gab?
No, this is a special dedication to the guy on Twitter who's, when they replayed that clip of us from, from it was like, do you have any evidence that United were ever interested in Erling Haaland? Yeah, okay, here's the United manager, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, saying he speaks to him and says, who wasn't interested in him? Goodness me.
Yeah, exactly.
Tony Freixa, one of the 3 candidates for the Barcelona presidency, says he has an investor willing to give the club 250 million euros to sign 3 players, 2 in attack and 1 in defense. Jules, are these purely empty campaign promises?
So much BS. I mean, this is crazy. It's every time you've got an election, people come up with, I'm going to sign Marcotti and Lawrence and so. But no, you've got no guarantees that even if you've got the money, they will want to come to your club anyway. And we're not even sure where the money comes from and if the money can come. So
the New York Times reporting that 250 million is a deal with Goldman to help refinance the club's debt. It's not meant to go and sign Mbappe and Haaland.
Yeah, just give me some realistic things that you're going to do if you become president, please. Diogo Jota is back at training for Liverpool, and that's maybe the best news they've ever had for the last 3 months.
Yeah, I think this is really, really huge. Diogo Jota has been, I don't want to have a debate about whether Virgil van Dijk's absence was bigger, but I think Diogo Jota would have made the front 3 better, especially with Mino going. Like, I don't want to say they're playing within themselves, but he gives you a variant, he gives you an alternative, he gives you the option of playing with 4. He's a game changer when he comes on, maybe doesn't necessarily start. He's the player Liverpool have been missing. And look, top 4 isn't guaranteed. With Diogo Jota, you take a big step in that direction.
Definitely.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.